Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, let's dive into this. Today we're talking about purpose over cause, the path to personal growth. There's this deeply universal struggle we all face, trying to unlock our personal growth and, frankly, breaking free from the very things that hold us back. It's something we literally all deal with.
So why do we stay stuck? Seriously, I want you to ask yourself this right now. Just imagine the staggering amount of wasted potential wrapped up in our human struggle to stay exactly the same. It's kind of like spinning your tires in thick mud. We pour so much energy into it, but we go absolutely nowhere. Even when we know perfectly well that our current situation simply isn't working for us, why do we exhaust ourselves trying to maintain a status quo that doesn't even make us happy? Well, the source material makes a really interesting point here. We often put all our energy into finding reasons for our unhappiness based entirely on what's already happened. We actively attribute our current state to the past, and as a result, we just stay unhappy. It's a completely frustrating cycle.
To really understand why this happens, we need to look at a specific concept. The term is aetiology. Now, in a strict sense, aetiology is just the study of causation, basically giving a reason for something, the classic study of cause and effect. But when we look at it in the context of our day-to-day lives, it takes on a very specific and honestly a very limiting role. When we apply aetiology to ourselves, it basically becomes the practice of placing blame on past experiences, past pain, or past trauma. It's looking backward to explain things entirely by the reasons they arose. If you've ever caught yourself saying, well, I am this way because of a bad breakup 5 years ago, or I can't succeed because of how I was raised, right there, you are looking at your life strictly through the lens of aetiology.
So, the crucial point is that living by this philosophy creates a massive trap. When we choose to excuse our present inability by pointing fingers at past events, we're actively disempowering ourselves. By creating these excuses and finding reasons not to move forward, we are literally surrendering our personal power. We totally fail to reach our true potential because we're just too busy maintaining a safety net. It's almost like we're building a cage made entirely out of our past hurts. We use our history as a shield. But here's the kicker. That shield basically guarantees we fail in the future. It keeps us stuck, and we stay unhappy as a direct result.
I want to pause right here for just a second. Ultimately, it's a choice. That is an incredibly heavy thought, isn't it? Staying stuck in the past, leaning on aetiology to explain away why we aren't where we want to be, that isn't just something that happens to us. It is an active choice. We are choosing to excuse our inability. We are actively choosing to disempower ourselves. But the really beautiful flip side of that reality is this. If staying stuck is a choice, well then we also possess the power to make a completely different choice.
And that brings us to the empowering solution, teleology. Notice the major shift here. Teleology is all about explaining things in terms of the purpose they serve, rather than the cause from which they arose. Instead of constantly looking over your shoulder at what caused your current situation, you look forward at the purpose you are moving toward. For example, instead of saying, I avoid relationships because I was hurt in the past, a teleological thinker says, I am focusing on building my independence so I can find a really healthy partnership. See the difference? It's about where you're going, completely independent of where you came from. This is a massive paradigm shift. Adopting teleology in your everyday life means choosing to take the power to live for personal growth.
And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer contrast between these two philosophies. It's stark. On one side, we have aetiology, the study of causation and reasons. It constantly looks backward at past trauma, and in doing so, it basically surrenders your power to things you literally can no longer control. On the other side, we have teleology, the study of purpose and goals. It focuses fiercely on future growth. But I really want you to notice that last point. It requires courage and responsibility. Teleology doesn't offer you that comforting little safety net of excuses. No way. It demands that you stand up and truly own your direction.
Look, there's no doubt that choosing teleology takes genuine courage. It is not easy. As this quote perfectly captures, it is the courage of taking complete responsibility for your state of mind and your actions, right now, in the present moment. I know it is deeply challenging to stop blaming past events. It's really hard to just drop the excuses. But taking ownership means that if you are unhappy with your current state, well, it's completely up to you to change your actions today. You are the architect of your life moving forward, regardless of whatever blueprints you were handed in the past.
So, what does this actually look like in practice? It means redirecting your energy. And interestingly, research highlighted in our sources shows that focusing on future goals actually physically alters how your brain processes daily stressors. You basically just put one foot in front of the other. You apply pressure to your goals instead of your past.
By focusing on the purpose of your actions rather than their historical cause, you generate incredible momentum. You expand your horizons daily, and you actually become happier as a direct result of moving further towards exactly what you want in life.
Let's move to and see how this builds into an incredibly practical, actionable roadmap for daily living. This is the teleological path, pulled directly from our source material. Step 1. Learn from the past. Notice it doesn't say to just ignore the past. No, you take the learnings from it, but you absolutely do not use it as a place to live or to place blame. Step 2. Fulfill your present highest values. You live in the now. You make choices that align with what matters most to you today. And Step 3. Move towards your goals. You actively shape your better life in the present, even if you're literally only moving one single step at a time.
We've seen how aetiology keeps us anchored in blame, right? And how teleology propels us forward with real purpose. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final, provocative question to think about. Will you let your past dictate your future, retreating into that comfortable safety net of excuses? Or will you summon the courage to choose your purpose, take absolute responsibility for your present actions, and start shaping your own life today? The path to personal growth is standing right in front of you, one step at a time. The choice is yours.